everyone. It's Dr. Jenelle Kim and Craig Nandu. I'm here with the experts at BeautyConnect in Los Angeles. And I'm so excited to share with you Laura. Laura is amazing. She's going to tell us all about her incredible expertise in marketing. She runs a full-service marketing agency that really focuses on beauty and wellness, other things, but she's very well known in these industries. And she's also a friend of ours. So I'm really excited.
Good to be here.
Yes. So Laura, okay, without further ado, tell us a bit about what you do, why you started this.
Okay, well, I'm a let's give the note of color first. I'm from Argentina. That's where the sexy accent has frogs.
Beautiful.
And in Argentina, I was a soap opera producer. And I came to the States. I worked in the entertainment industry. You cannot do entertainment industry without knowing fashion and beauty. Impossible. I was a red carpet. So, long story short, I work in digital. I also became a professor of digital marketing for the fashion industry. And I realized that there was a problem. Small brands and early stages brands, middle stage brands were failing. And I didn't realize why. So I started to find out, and I found out there were 5 reasons why brands were failing.
I love that. First of all, there's a problem and you found a solution, and now you have 5 reasons.
Yes, 5 reasons, at least in marketing. I mean, there are other issues like financing, operations. I don't do that. But the 5 reasons were, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but the first reason was the founders that they tried to do it all. Founders, there's a lot of work to be done. And a founder doing an Instagram post or trying to write a newsletter, design a newsletter is a waste of time.
Yes.
The second one is companies that they want to go super lean and they hire 1 or 2 people in-house to do it all. It's impossible. You need so much expertise in each space to create an omni-channel strategy that it's impossible. The third one is the ones that they have little budget and they see, this agency, they had really good experiences with Estée Lauder or with big brands. But it's easy to have a good experience working with those big budgets and with brands that they have that awareness. The fourth one is the ones who work with ton of freelancers. Doesn't mean that they're not spending money. They're spending money, but there is no strategies.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have maybe great freelancers, but they're working. One has a strategy and SEO, but they have a completely different narrative that the people doing social. You all need to go for the same goals.
Yes.
And the last one is there are a lot of consultants out there that they promise everything, that they can do everything from operations, marketing, this and that, and they put big ideas out there, but without execution.
Yes. I love those 5, topics, if you will, or 5 problems that need a solution. People need to be around.
And I always was a rule breaker, so I was like, how can I break the rules? And I created an agency just to help these brands creating cohesive strategies, analyze where they're at, but then create strategies for them with their budget and to scale.
Absolutely. Listen, we at JBK for decades, we have worked with brands, larger ones that we see they have a lot of potential, and they fulfill that. And I cannot tell you truly the 5 points that Laura just brought up are things that we see time and time again.
Yeah.
And so many times these companies, these founders, they will come to us and say, I wish I had known this then. But those are really, really good at that.
And that's a huge reason why we created this show, The Experts, is because when you're a new brand and you have this idea and you want to make your product and we're going to get here and there, when you actually start to try and execute on it, where do you get the information? Where do you turn to? Where do you go? Even just to hear snippets of how it worked for a big brand to get to where they are, what pitfalls to avoid. And so, finding the right people who can help you execute on your vision is really, really important. And as Jenelle said, brands will spend money and do all kinds of things, even if they have a little bit of budget to do it.
Yeah.
But so many times they go down a road and they don't realize they're going down a long road or the wrong road until they find out, and then they got to U-turn, come back, and then find the right road. And I think that having people like you who have been in this industry, who are well connected and kind of have been through this drill for 20 years, however long you've been doing it, you have a really good sense of how to guide them, but they can't do it by themselves. They need some people to to help.
Yeah, and I mean, and you guys seen it from the beginning because you're manufacturing, you're creating the product.
Right, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, and it's so important to bring marketing early on because there's so much competition out there that you might end up being one more if you don't trust.
Very easy to do.
Very easy. So
Fortunately,
you don't trust the experts. Say, here's how we can differentiate with the formula. But then you think about marketing. How are we going to be targeting this? Who is your niche?
absolutely.
You need to make sure that the product that is you're going to be creating works for a niche.
And to find someone who truly, I know we are friends and I think very highly of you, but everyone knows I'm very transparent. For example, someone like Laura, she goes to every one of the most amazing beauty shows, wellness shows. She knows all of the people. And so it really is important to find, whether it's Laura or some experts, to find someone who can really give you good perspective. Because you can have the best thing in the world, but of course your whole heart and mind is into what you're doing, and you might not see what else is out there.
But it's not only about that. I mean, I come to the events because they're amazing, and I get to hang out with my friends. But also because it's important to, when you work with anyone, you know that they come with a network, that they are not alone.
This is true.
That they can recommend you someone that they trust, either accounting, financing. Because there are a lot of people out there that they don't even specialize in this industry.
Yes.
So it's really easy to get a marketing agency that they never did beauty. It's so different to market beauty than food.
100%. The beauty industry we've been doing it for so long, but yes, it's a whole other animal.
Absolutely.
And the wellness, they're together, but that's also a whole other animal.
And you touched on niche a little bit before. And my question for you, I know what I've seen, but on your side of things, have you seen that because of social media and everybody kind of having their own playlist, and so they kind of live in their bubble, do you find that brands have gone a lot more niche to target specific customers versus trying to create a wide berth?
I think so, because the budget, it costs money to be everywhere, so you can only target so much. But also it depends a lot of the formulation in this case, because the people became a lot more savvy, and you are, in marketing, let's think about when you go to Google. What do? You put a problem.
Yes.
You're looking for a solution. So when you're buying a product, you're also looking for a solution. So I believe that you need to be a lot more performance-based as a product, and then sell a solution.
Absolutely.
Marketing.
And consumers are much more educated and aware. Well, thank goodness, because that's part of that. That's been very important to me over 20 years of doing this, that we become more aware and educated, and now we're here. So you have to know what you're saying, who you're speaking to, what makes you different, and I love that, what problem you are solving.
And also, you shouldn't be trying to create a product for everyone.
Yes.
It's like there is room for everyone.
Yes.
And if you ask me, is there is room for new beauty product? Yeah, there is always room, but you need to choose what's your solution.
Yes.
What's your story? Also believe in the founder stories and the product story.
It's like the heart behind everything.
Storytelling is huge part of who you are as a brand.
Yes. I certainly would not be doing what I was doing either. I did not come from the root I came from. I
Exactly.
remind myself that every moment.
And as you know, a friend of ours, Daniel Langer, he talks about branding and how important it is, and how important it is to have something unique. And sometimes it seems almost, what's the word for it? I don't want to say confrontational, but he's like, your brand is not special.
Yeah, exactly.
And you need to have something special, because there's thousands of brands out there, and really to break apart is a special thing. And so I wanted to ask you, with the brands that you've worked with who have done very well and have continued to grow, what are some takeaways that you can say to our viewers that you've seen them do really well?
Love that. They have a good team. They trust who they hire. They let them do their work. They are not trying to, when you agree, like for example, if you work with me, we're going to be agreeing. This is your brand. This is your voice. When you sign up on that, we keep working on that, unless there is a rebranding. Otherwise, you're diluting your brand. So you need to be strong of who you are, and your brand is a personality. It's alive. So you need to let it live, and you need to let it grow. Each brand will grow their own space, But as a founder, you need to put yourself out there.
I love that. And, you know, when you say grow, you can always picture a baby, and then, you know, they change a lot in the first few years, but then they just start to blossom into a grown-up person.
Honestly, it will be very scary if you have a brand that immediately does well overnight.
Time and time again.
Because it's gonna happen. You're gonna go through iterations of who your brand is. You're gonna have to tweak things here and there, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna be doing a huge retargeting. Sure. So when you're gonna go really strong and get investors or trying to big retail, then you really truly know who you are. I mean, you've seen this at brands many times, even they need to change ingredients.
Yes, absolutely. Ingredients are part of the store. You have to be able to pivot. Yes. Everything. Yes, and to have someone to guide you along.
So, and have your team, have your formulator that you trust. It's like the same like when you talk with your accountant, you need to have an accountant that you trust, that you're going to talk about everything. So should be the same with your team. Yes. And don't be afraid to communicate all your things together or connect. Should my marketing person be in a meeting with the formulator, or should my accountant make sure? Because I have friends who are accountants and say they spend so much more money in marketing and it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And it needs to make sense.
Yes, I love that.
And not wait until the end of the year when you do your taxes and your...
Oh, shoot, I should have thought about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, especially that.
Exactly.
You cannot go backwards.
No.
Okay. I love that. Well, okay, Laura, tell us where we will provide all the information, but you tell us where everyone can find you.
The Darl.com. That's it. Social, Laura Schmoisman, the Darl Agency.
Yes. THEDARL.
Yes, absolutely. .com. Yeah, and you can look up with my name. There's just one Laura Schmoisman, SCHMOISMAN, and you'll find me, or you can ask these guys.
Absolutely. Well, come to one of these events and you'll see Laura.
Yes, it's true. Well, thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.